Hi, welcome to Copenhagen. Thanks for dropping in. Hope everybody is doing well. Today I am unboxing a diamond painting pen kit from Gukasxi store on Amazon. So this is the third and final time we will be looking at this package from Amazon. I ordered silicone double-sided release paper and decided to order a diamond painting and also a diamond painting pen. So I have done reviews of the release paper and the diamond painting, so now it is the turn of the pen. So bye bye box. So basically I just went on Amazon and I searched diamond painting pen, had a look at what came up, and this one caught my attention because there's something slightly different about it. So it's not just a pen, it's a kit. So sometimes when you order pens you get a pen and that's it, nothing else. But in this case we get some extra bits and pieces that were quite interesting. So we'll open up and have a look. So it comes in a resealable bag if you want to keep it and store it in it. We don't really have much, it's just a barcode, a reference number, and nothing much else on that label. So we'll take out what's in the bag, get rid of the bag. So we have the pen, we have some attachments, and we have some blue wax. Most commonly with diamond painting the wax is pink, but in this case it's blue, so that's something a little bit different. So we'll have a look at that. So it comes in this little tub that is obviously childproof because I can't open it. There we go. Actually talking about that, seriously thinking about that, this is actually quite a good idea because little kids won't be able to open it. It takes quite a bit of pressure to separate that, so that could come in handy for some people. And we get a lot of wax. I did not expect this much. So I have spread them out a bit. So we have 6 pieces of pink wax. Now I'm just thinking, do I have any pink wax lying around? I don't. I was going to compare the size to what I would normally expect from a kit, but I don't. Yes I do, hang on. I thought I would find one somewhere. So this is a typical square of pink wax, and that is the size of the blue ones. I have 6 of them. So that is a lot of wax. Whether it's any good or not, I don't know. There's one more way to find out, but that won't be in this video. So 6 pieces of pink wax, and again, just as a comparison, that's a pretty much standard size of pink wax. So not bad if it works. Just put it back in this little box. Again, that, as I said, it's quite a handy thing. Stop small kids from eating it or something. Also keeps it clean, keeps it away from pet hairs and dust as well. So it's nice to see it in a little container. What we'll do, we'll talk about the pen first, I think, actually. So this is the pen. There was a choice of blue or pink, so I went for the blue one, and you can see it's acrylic. It has a sort of 3D-ish effect, the way the white goes through it. Looks quite nice, quite like that. And we have, it's double-ended, so there's a hole in either end. It's very different from any pen I've got, the shape, quite interesting. Yeah, I think the thing is it gives you a bit of variety on how you hold the pen. You can move your hand about so you're not sort of constantly holding the same diameter. Again, I'm just looking about. I want to compare it to, this is a normal pink pen, standard pink pen that you'll get with most kits. So you can see it's quite a bit thicker, which makes it a bit easier to hold, especially if you have problems with maybe arthritis and things. A slightly thicker pen tends to be more comfortable, but there is a lot of variation in how you can hold it or where you can hold it. This part here is quite narrow. You could then move up here, you could move back a bit, so you're sort of varying how you hold the pen, which can be quite good actually. So yeah, quite a bit bigger than, or thicker I should say, than the standard pink pen. Now the other thing that's different is the tips. So it comes with a little set here. Again, same style, no, slightly different style of box. And see if I spill them all over the table. I wouldn't be surprised. Actually takes quite a bit of pressure to open that. Again, maybe handy, stop the kids from playing with them. So we'll go for the equivalent of the tip that comes with the pink pen. So first difference is this is steel, it isn't brass. Now these tips are quite delicate. It's a very thin edge around there. The pink wax goes in the hole. They can get damaged quite easily, so you have to be careful when you're using them. Don't leave them somewhere where they can get stood on or anything like that. These ones are metal, so it's a lot stronger than the brass. You could argue that it is nicer looking as well. The big difference, the thing that caught my attention was, normally the tips that go in this type of pen are pretty much the same as this. In fact, a lot of companies actually use the standard tip and they push in, they just push fit. You push them in, you pull them out, swap them over. This one is different. The tip actually has a thread on it, so the hole will be threaded, so you actually screw them in. That's it. So you won't have, sometimes you can have a problem if you buy a diamond painting pen that takes the push fit, like the standard tips. Sometimes you can find that when you put them in, they're a bit loose, or sometimes you try and put them in and the hole is just a bit tight. The thing about threaded ones is you know it's going to fit. So they screw in, so they're not going to be loose and wobble, or they're not going to be too big, because the threads are actually made to measure for the tip, so you'll get a perfect fit. So we have the standard tip, straight placer, just a direct replacement for the normal pink pen tip. Then threads are quite long. I need to watch because I'm on a slanted table, as you can tell. Things tend to roll off. We also have the angled tip, or swan neck, or gooseneck, or whatever you want to call it. And again, I'll just screw in once I get it on the thread. Now the thing about these tips is, if you're using the straight tip, you have to hold the pen straight up and down, which feels a bit weird if you're not used to it. This tip, you hold it more of a pen angle, and then the tip angles down so it goes straight. Some people prefer that. It's really personal preference. So we get the gooseneck tip, again made of steel. They're all made of steel, so they won't wear. Then we get multi-placers. So you can see there number 3 on it. So when you fill up this little channel with your blue wax, in this case, not pink, you can fit in 3 drills side by side. And people use this to fill in large areas of the same colour. They would pick up 3 drills at a time, so obviously it's going to be faster. And again, just screws in. So that's your 3 placer. Take it back out. So with 3, then we have another one. So this is a 6 placer. So if it's a big area, like a really big area of one colour, for example, if you're doing a diamond painting and the background is all black, single placing can take quite a while. If you use a multi-placer, you can speed things up. I'm just making sure that I get this on the thread. That's very important. I'm going to try it on the other end, because it feels like it's not going to catch. Okay, that's not what I was expecting. It feels tight. I'm not going to put that one in. So the next one is a 9 placer. If I catch it in the light, see if that works. Yeah, it's tighter though, which doesn't make any sense, because if they were machined the same way, they should be the same fit. So that's a 9 placer. So if you have a really big area of the same colour, you can do 9 drills at a time. And then we've got this really big one, which isn't a multi-placer, it's actually a straightener. So it's got a thin edge, it doesn't have a channel to put the wax in, and this is used if you find that your drills are wavering a bit, they're not straight. I'm being careful with this. I'll talk about that in a minute. It's actually easier to spin the pen. So you've got a straightener. So if you've done a row of drills and you find they're a bit wavy, you can use this to push them. Or if you, depends what way you're working. Probably if you're working from the bottom up, you probably would be pushing them down together to straighten them up. Again, it's metal, so it's going to be easy to maneuver the drills. Multi-placers, you'll get a lot of kits, you'll get them as extras added in with your diamond painting, but they tend to be plastic, which is fine. But if you are a heavy user of multi-placers, you'll find that they start to wear out, the plastic starts to wear, and you have to get another multi-placer. The steel ones won't wear, so, or if they do, it's going to take a lot longer. So the steel tips are definitely an upgrade from the typical plastic ones, or even the standard brass tips. These will wear out a lot quicker, and they are more fragile than a steel tip. So as I said, the thing is, this one, the pen is threaded, so you won't be able to use the push fit tips. But I thought about it when I ordered it as well though. I'm not sure how long it'll last, because if you're screwing in and unscrewing and screwing in and unscrewing, this is only acrylic, and I would imagine over time, if you keep changing them, the acrylic is going to wear away, because you're basically turning steel against plastic. I think the threads could wear. Not sure, but the thing is, if you set the pen up the way that you would normally use it, I mean, if it was me, I never use a multi-placer, so there'd be no point, and I never use a straightener. So the only tip that I would be interested in is this one. And once it's in the pen, that's it. I would never take that out again. So the end, just for cosmetics, I would probably stick the straightener in. Just looks better. I think anyway, it looks better if there's something on either end when you've got a double-ended pen. But again, I'm being careful with the thread. Sometimes I feel as if it's not quite in the right thread. So the pen for me would look like this all the time. I'd have the single placer and the straightener that I never use, but I don't know, maybe occasionally I might, but I don't use straighteners. But if you were a person that chopped and changed a lot, if you used multi-placers, you would have maybe a single placer. It would either be this one or the gooseneck, whichever one you prefer, and that would be pretty much it. It would just always be there. And then you would maybe change your multi-placers depending on the size of the area that you were filling. Again, I feel like I'm having problems with the thread. I don't know if it was this one that had a problem. No, this one worked. No, I've got it on, so that one's okay. So you could be using this and maybe end up in a different section where you had a lot more of a particular colour and you wanted to step up. So you would take out your small one, go for the middle-sized one. I think this was the one that I couldn't get. Yeah, that is going really tight just as it goes in there. And it's squint, you can see that squint. So why that's happening, I don't know, because it doesn't make sense. It's going, but that is a lot tighter than the first one, which makes me think the threads are going to start wearing out if I keep doing that. It does go, but obviously the thread on the metal part isn't going to change. It's the plastic thread that would wear away. I'll try the big one. Yeah, that goes no problem. Actually feels a little bit loose. I keep wanting to turn this end, which makes no sense. It's easier to spin, but it is tight. But just when I'm threading it in, it feels as if it's sort of slightly moving. To go back to this and see if feeding it in one time has maybe made it. No, it still feels tight, but it does go. I don't think it's stripping the thread, but it's just if these metal pieces have been machined the same, there shouldn't be any problem. I'll try the straightener again. Yeah, again that feels a bit loose, but once you tighten up it's fine. So it's just that one. I'll do the gooseneck one just to see how, yeah, it feels loose again and then it's tight. So they all feel kind of loose as you're screwing them in, which is no big deal, but just that one is tight all the way. And I can't help thinking that is going to wear away the thread inside the pen. So yeah, that doesn't really make sense. So this has been machined very slightly different from the rest. But I think it would depend how much or how often you change the tips. Maybe if I do the other end, just to see if there's some difference. So I'll put the straight tip in here. Again, I'm trying to turn the short piece, which makes no sense. And then I'll go for this one again. It's the same. So it's the thread on this particular multiplacer. Yeah. I mean, I can turn that really, really easily. You can spin it, basically. If I go back to that middle one, I can't. It's awkward to try and get it on the thread, and I know that if I put it at an angle and get it wrong, I'm going to ruin the thread. So something different about the thread on this one. So as long as you don't want to use your 6 placer, you can use your 9 or your 3, but the 6 for some reason is a bit off. Now I don't know if this is just a one-off, just happens to be that one is slightly out. It will go if you push it, but as I said, I'd be kind of worried that I get it wrong and I screw it in and basically just take away all the threads inside. If I do that, none of them will fit in it. So yeah, I don't know. So anyway, that is it. That is the diamond painting pen from Gukasxi. Not sure that I'm pronouncing that properly. I'll put the name in the description, but they spell it Gukasxi. Gukasxi, something like that. But I mean, the pen seems good enough. I like the fact that there are various bits to hold, so you can vary the way you hold the pen. I like the little case that you keep all the tips in. I like the little case that you keep the wax in, keeps it nice and clean. The only thing that's sort of putting me off a bit is this multiplacer, but again, for me it wouldn't matter. I only use a single placer when I'm using a pen, and it's just the good old straight one, because I'm now used to holding a pen straight up and down to diamond paint. I think it would take me a bit of time to get used to using one of these because it's offset. So yeah, I would just use this, and just purely for cosmetics I would put the straightener in the end, but not something that I actually use. I just prefer to just manually place the drills and keep them straight, just by placing them without pushing them around. But nice looking pen. So that came from Amazon.de. So that was a diamond painting pen kit from Gukasxi on Amazon. I like it. I mean, the pen is definitely an improvement, I think, from the pink straw. The tips are steel, so obviously they're going to last a lot longer than your typical diamond painting pen tip, which is made of brass. I like the little tub that the wax is in. I think it's a good idea. It takes a little bit of effort to open, so less chance of small kids picking it up and eating it. Same with the box with the tips in it. Takes a bit of effort to actually open it, so again maybe stops the kids from taking it out and playing with them or swallowing them. You know what kids are like. The downside was that one multiplacer. It just felt as if I was sort of forcing it to go in. The other ones were a little bit loose, not a lot, but just a little bit loose as I was winding them in, and when they got to the end they were tight. That one, it just always felt as if it was going slightly off the thread at an angle, and I thought, if I'm turning this, it's going to wear away the plastic inside. and eventually it's not going to work. I don't know if it's just that tip, just unlucky with that tip. It does go in, but I just get the feeling it's over time, if I keep doing that, it's going to basically ruin the thread, which makes that end of the pen useless. As I said, in my case, no big deal, because I only use the single placer, and if it did wear away, I would just put the single placer in the other end. But again, I just wouldn't do it. I would not use the middle-sized multi-placer. Could have just been this one. I don't know. The only way to find out would be to buy another kit and see if it does the same thing, which I am not going to do. So yeah, overall, I think it's a definite upgrade from the pink pen, especially if you have issues with your hands, like maybe arthritis, or you just for whatever reason have problems holding the pen because it's so narrow. This design is definitely a bit chunkier, which you might find more comfortable. The fact that there are sort of multiple ways that you can hold it, which changes the way that you hold the pen, might be beneficial to some people. Metal tips, really good idea. It would be an even better idea if they all screwed in the same way. But yeah, that's it. I wouldn't say don't get it. I would just say when you're threading them in, just be careful. Don't try and force them. If it feels as if they're not going to go, take it back out and try again. And if it still feels like it isn't going to go, don't use that tip. Because once you ruin the plastic, that's it. Nothing will fit in it. So, yep, that's it. The third and final from the Amazon package, where I was only ordering release paper, which then turned into release paper, a diamond painting, and a diamond painting pen kit. I'm sure other diamond painters out there know how it goes, especially when you're looking at diamond painting websites, not intending to buy anything because you are on a no buy. My current no buy is in transit, so yeah, it doesn't work well for me. So yeah, I've got another diamond painting coming from a different company, a company that most diamond painters know very, very well, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that one will be coming up soon. So if you want to find out what it is, and if you enjoyed this video and want to see more unboxings, unbaggings, comparisons, accessories, diamond painting pens with iffy tips, or anything to do with diamond painting, please subscribe and hit the notification button. If you do that, you may catch me live on YouTube. I do random YouTube lives where I come on when I've got time and work on whatever my project is at that time. At the moment it is Roaring Tiger from Homecraftology, so you can drop in, see me working on it. It is square drills, and I use tweezers for square drills, so I don't use pens that much. So as I said, it wouldn't be an issue for me with that multi-placer because I don't use them. I use single placer when I use a pen. So if you're interested in dropping in and having a bit of a chat, please feel free. I always enjoy talking to diamond painters from all over the world. I'm from Scotland originally, and I moved to Copenhagen, capital city of Denmark, 10 years ago now. Feels like yesterday, but how time flies. So if you're interested in dropping in and just let me know where in the world you are, maybe tell me a little bit about where you live. I'm always interested in learning new things, so maybe I'll catch you on YouTube. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and in the meantime, take care, be safe, and wash your hands.